Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I have a very, very special guest for all you horror movie fans out there. I mean, it is just beyond words of who I got today. I'm going to be interviewing Martin himself, Dead Nathan himself, John Amplas. And I'm going to talk to him about all of his roles in the George A. Romero movies. Martin, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Creepshow, Knightriders, all those movies. And even some of his non-horror movies, or non-George Romero movies, I should say, like Toxic Zombies. And I just fucking cannot believe it. Oh my God. I mean, the guy is a legend amongst legends in the world of horror, and I can't believe how lucky I am that I'm going to get to interview him. There's just no other way of describing it and putting it. Oh my God, I'm so speechless. So yeah, here is my interview with John Amplas. Hi, John.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, welcome to the show. I mean, you are a legend in the world of horror. There's no other way of putting it. I thank you for your time today.
Oh, sure. It's my pleasure. It's not that hard.
So going back to the beginning, I mean, did you know early on that you wanted to be an actor?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I sort of did. Anyway. I mean, I had an uncle there in Pittsburgh that was into community theater, and he got me involved when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a lot of community theater, and then I did, kind of trailed off during high school, and I went to the Army, and I came back, and I decided to go to the school for theater, and I went to Point Park, and it was actually when I graduated from Point Park, my last production at school. George saw me in a production called Kovac,
Mm-hmm.
and went away, rewrote the role. He originally had the role. The role was written for an older looking character.
Mm-hmm.
But he rewrote it, and a couple months later, he called me and offered me the job of Martin.
Wow. So he originally wrote Martin for somebody older.
Yeah.
Wow. That would have been interesting to see somebody older play Martin.
Yes. It would have been a different movie.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know where he was. I don't know where he was going or what his thoughts were, but that's how it was laid out to me anyway. So.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 1976, and so I went on to do 5 other movies with George after that. So.
Of course.
Yeah, we were good pals.
Mm-hmm. But did you look at the script of Martin and go, this is brilliant? Or did you look at it and go, I'm going to have to put a bag over my head after this?
I looked at the script and thought it was an interesting movie. It was going to be an interesting movie. I knew that right away. I think George has been at his best generally when he's writer, director, chief cook, and bottle washer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Martin, that is actually the first film he gave up doing cinematography on.
Mm-hmm.
He would be the cameraman. He would do camera work too. But on Martin, he gave that up to Mike Bornick. In fact, the first day of shooting, he handed it over to Mike. But George's writing, I think, is what
Yes.
Plus, he was smart as hell.
Oh, yeah. He was definitely one of a kind.
No doubt about it.
Like all 70s landmark horror movies, it has a real grainy documentary feel to it. The budget was around, what, 80,000?
I don't know what the budget was. I mean, ultimately, I heard it was much closer to about 300,000 when everything was said and done.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, probably after production costs and all that.
Right. I don't know what the original shooting budget was.
Mm-hmm.
I know we didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was a small crew. It was a small crew of people, and everybody, pitched in and did what they could.
Mm-hmm. Was everything shot really fast?
Relatively, I remember the shoot to be about 6 weeks, at least for me. We started sometime in late summer, early fall, and were finished before Thanksgiving. In fact, I had already moved to New York by Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
My job with the film had been done, and I was in New York for that Thanksgiving of '76.
Mm-hmm. When the movie got sold and distributed, did everybody from the movie, including yourself, get paid?
For what? No, we weren't paid anything. We were paid during I was paid during the process,
Mm-hmm.
during the making of it. But no, there was no more money to be had. At least none of it came to me.
Because that's one thing I've learned since I've started this podcast. Everybody from 70s landmark horror movies did not get paid when the movies came out and stuff, and they are very, very bitter about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's what the promises,
Yeah.
There's a lot of, they'll offer points, and then those points have to come out of the net, and the net is never met. The net is never made.
Mm-hmm.
So, they just, I guess that's the way they did business back then.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would be. Yeah, a lot of people at this point in time. There's no point in being bitter at all. For me, anyway.
That's good.
I just had my career didn't go exactly the direction I thought it was going to go, but my career went a direction that I was certainly ultimately happy about, because it led me into, I'd always been in theater, and so I kept doing theater.
Yeah.
I thought Martin was going to launch me into a different direction, but it didn't. So I just kept working and doing what I do. I would go back to Pittsburgh and work at the Playhouse, do a play, and George would be working on another movie, and then he'd ask me to be a part of it, and then I'd do that, and then I'd go work on another play, and then and I would be back for another film, and so I kept going back and forth like that for a while.
Yeah.
Until I was hired to teach part time, and so I did, and so now I'm retired after 36 years of teaching.
Oh, that's great.
Acting and directing
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I am today, which is okay by me.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Then, after Martin George did his masterpiece and my favorite zombie movie of all time, Dawn of the Dead, in which you have an uncredited second guy on the roof role.
That's right.
Yeah.
I actually worked on a lot of that stuff on the Dead.
Oh.
I just wanted to be around. Me being on the roof, that was just coincidental.
Mm-hmm.
That was a coincidence. They needed somebody up there, and so they threw a wig on me, and up I went.
Mm-hmm.
But I did some of the casting for Dawn of the Dead. I brought David Emke into the fold for Dawn of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
He was an old friend of mine. And then, of course, we cast a lot of zombies. A lot of the living dead, a lot of friends and things like that. People that wanted to play zombies in the mall.
Yeah. One of the things I love about the era that you came up in horror, there was so much camaraderie there. It's camaraderie that's missing today because it seems to be, less about making a good film and more about, the money aspect and less talent.
Yeah, I understand that. I wonder, were we naive in the 70s? Or are we just greedy today?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, the business is, I think the business is much more difficult. And much more demanding financially, certainly.
mm-hmm.
You can't. It's hard to make an independent film today.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, and so the cost of even making a movie it can be a treacherous one and not an easy one. And so I think it was simpler in the 1970s than it is now. Certainly.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up myself personally as a filmmaker or wanting to be a filmmaker. I grew up, wanting to be an actor and ultimately became a theater director. And, that's where my life has kind of led me, and that's where I've been for a long time. So,
Mm-hmm.
although I've worked with George on 6 movies, and with a few other people as well, Jack Russo being one.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't consider myself, a real film guy. I consider myself more a theater guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's my home base. That's always been my home base. In fact, I just finished a play a couple of weeks ago. I directed. So
Nice.
I keep going back to that. Plus, it's a lot simpler to go back to the theater than it is to film work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A little less competitive too.
Oh yeah. Well, it's I'm not trying to go anywhere anymore. I'm not trying to be anything special anymore. I'm just a guy who's trying to keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just want to live my life in peace and
Mm-hmm. Then you did.
I don't know if I'm answering your questions or not.
Oh, you are. Don't worry, you are. You're doing great, John.
Good.
Now, then you did one of the few non-Romero horror movies from that period, Toxic Zombies. How did you get to play Phillips in that?
I had just, as I said, I went to New York. I think it was listed in that stage.
Mm-hmm.
They were needing actors for a movie, so that's how I got it. I mentioned I went to an open call, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a pretty controversial movie. I mean, I saw it once on USA Up All Night when I was a kid, but I haven't been able to find it since.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. The guy that made it was a nice guy, but yeah, you know, my involvement was pretty brief. I think I shot a weekend or something
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in upstate New York, and that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall it being, a terrific movie, but a lot of fans, enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was an experience. It gave me another shot at getting in front of the camera. So
Right.
it was, if nothing else, a learning experience, as there always is.
Right. Yeah, the director, Charles McCran, he actually died at 9/11.
Yes, I knew that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I heard that. That's a shame.
It is a shame, and also it's mind-boggling, too, because Toxic Zombies was the only movie he ever made.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think he was infatuated with making movies. I don't think he was an actual filmmaker.
Yeah. He was probably a stage actor, too, or something.
Maybe. I really don't know his background, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him being a decent guy,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
And then you played Whiteface in Knightriders.
Yes, Knightriders. Love Knightriders.
That was a huge departure for George in a very odd and ambitious film.
Yeah, it was. I think George has been trying to, make a different statement and a different kind of film that he's become known for,
Mm-hmm.
especially with uh, Night of the Living Dead and then Dawn of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
When you're making a specific kind of film, it seems you get pigeonholed, which is why he wanted to finish it all off with Day of the Dead,
Mm-hmm.
make it a trilogy, and then say that was it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just not allowed. And your financing was difficult, and so I'm sure I don't know all of the ins and outs of what made him do what he did, but there was more in him than just the Dead movies.
Mm-hmm. And you got to
I think he would have liked to have had an opportunity to express that.
right.
More than he was able to. But he did have a few chances, and Knightriders um, and Creepshow was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was lucky enough to be, a part of, 6 movies kind of almost in a row. There were a few in between Monkey Shines that I was not involved in.
Mm-hmm.
But in spite of that, I was lucky, to be a part of all of that, and especially for Pittsburgh filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
If it weren't for George, Pittsburgh wouldn't be getting. We get a lot of big films that come in here now, and have for the last 20 years. Because of George, making movies here years and years and years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm probably going off track, so if you have a question, you might want to ask.
It's okay. It's okay. I like guests who are forthcoming with information. You got to work with Ed Harris a couple times. What was he like?
Oh, good guy. Yeah, really good guy. I also worked with his wife, Amy Madigan, who I
Mm-hmm.
really liked a lot.
Oh, she's great.
She was, really great. But, they're good people, what can you say?
Mm-hmm.
Good actors, but good people. Just that, nothing out of the ordinary. Just decent folk.
Did you have any clue that he would be Academy Award nominated, Ed Harris?
Oh no! How would we? Any of us know that? No.
No, I mean, did you see a spark in him? Like, this guy's going to be famous.
Well, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. What he is what he was, and what he is a good actor, and you can always tell that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you knew he was gonna be just fine in this world of acting.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you worked with him again in my favorite role you've ever played, Dead Nathan in Creepshow. You have never looked better and never been better. That makeup Tom gave you,
Wow.
it was perfect.
Thank you so very much.
Yes.
Boy, do I appreciate that.
Yeah. How long did it take to apply?
Well, once all of the pieces were made, it was relatively easy. I had to sit under plaster
Mm-hmm.
for a while. Sabini made a mask, and then gloves for the hands, and I was pretty thin back then, so we were still. He made this, kind of emaciated look that was part of the suit, and so it was like putting on a suit jacket and gloves and a mask, and you were pretty much ready to go. But that took him, quite a while in order to assemble. Which was probably about a month or 6 weeks for him to do.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it was time to shoot, it was all set. You put on your gloves, put on your coat, put on your mask, and away you go.
Right.
So, yeah, it was relatively easy once everything was made and put into place. So yeah.
How many days did you work?
maybe, well, with having to do the makeup and then having to do the shooting, probably a couple of weeks was all I was on.
Yeah, you got to be in the scene with...
I was only in the first part, so...
Right.
I didn't travel with them to do the other stuff. I was only in the first episode, which was shot in Pittsburgh, so I didn't get to travel anywhere or see any of the other stuff being made.
You got to be in the scene with Vivica Linfors. She was an amazing actress.
Yeah. I loved her. She was so sweet. She was really wonderful. Carrie Nye, I actually worked with Carrie Nye twice. I stage managed to play she was in once. So she was fun. And but Vivica Linfors was one of the sweetest women I've ever met. One of the nicest, kindest people. And up for anything. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. She'd do it,
Yeah.
Saw her rolling around on the ground. She had no problem.
Yeah, I've seen the behind-the-scenes footage of you twisting Carrie Nye's head off. It's hilarious.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's just you keep doing it over and over again. Is Warner Shook still alive?
I do not know Warner Shook where he is. I'm going to say yes. I think he did a lot of directing in his time, but I never checked up with him. He's a good friend. He was a good friend of Chris Forrest. Chris Romero at the time. He was good friends with them. I think they went to college together. So they were good pals. But Warner wasn't somebody that I hung out with or knew all that well.
Yeah, he's hilarious in the movie. He provides the comic relief in that story. And that girl who plays his sister, I never saw her again.
Yeah, I don't even know what her name was.
Yeah. And then after Creepshow... I'm sorry, what?
I said that happens too. Sometimes actors just go away.
Oh, yeah.
They change their calling and move on.
And then you worked with John Russo on Midnight. Any memories of that?
I did. Yeah. John opened the damn thing. I mean, the first night he had me shooting, I was opening in a premiere at the Playhouse in a play called A Life in the Theater, which was 50th reunion of the Pittsburgh Playhouse, and he made it. It was supposed to be a big celebration, and I was in the play, and then a celebration and reunion over the last 50 years, and he made me go to a shoot at midnight. So he and I got off to a rough start. I think I went drunk and told him, to go to hell.
Yeah, I interviewed John last summer, and we talked very early in the morning, and he was in the middle of his morning walk. He was like huffing and puffing away, and I was like, "Oh God, I feel like we're getting off to a bad start here."
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't see John that often. Once in a while, I'll run into him at a convention.
Yeah. I met him at a festival earlier this year too. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
Of course.
Back in the early days, Raymond Lang.
Mm-hmm.
Raymond did Always Vanilla, played the lead in Always Vanilla.
Yeah.
So
Did
they were, and I was a friend of George's, and that's how I met Jack.
yeah. Did the infamous Lawrence Tierney get into a fight on the set?
Not that I'm aware of, maybe, not that I recall. So, I mean, he was not in any fights that I was privy to. He seemed like a pretty decent guy.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot to do with it. I think maybe I was in possibly one scene with him.
Mm-hmm.
But he seemed like a decent guy. I know that he had a difficult history.
Yeah.
From what I understand. And I remember him from B movies and stuff in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he was a pretty decent guy, at least as far as I was concerned.
Oh, that's good. At least he was well behaved on that set.
Yeah, well, I think at this point in time in his career, this was just before he had a quick turnaround with
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs. Kind of brought him back into the fold for a little bit, and then he passed away.
Right.
So yeah, that's all I remember. But he was a decent guy as far as I knew.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, most people are.
Mm-hmm.
I find it's not that often that you run into. At least it hasn't been my experience that you run into people that aren't just good folk.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
Trying to do the right thing.
Well, I guess George, he too, he surrounded himself with good people.
Well, he did. Yeah, he did. That's one of the kind of terrific things about having worked with George over the course of time. His set was always full of humor. The people he worked with, the people I worked with on Martin were all the same people that worked with George right on through up until he left Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And especially during the 70s, 80s, and into the early 90s, it was the same group of folks, Mike Bornick and people like that, and the crew, all of the ADs and the grips, and everybody knew one another.
Yeah.
So they had there was already a language.
Yep.
In place.
Yep. That camaraderie. Yeah.
Yeah, it made it easy and it made it fun. In spite of how difficult the dead was in those mines, the people involved, made the best of it and figured out a way to laugh and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was a special time.
Yes, it sure was.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks don't have the kind of, or the same kind of experience making movies that that I was lucky enough to be a part of and meet the people that I was fortunate enough to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So I consider myself pretty lucky.
Yeah.
I'm also surprised that, these movies have lasted such a long time and are still being looked at and talked about. Martin is over 42 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and this little movie keeps finding new audience.
Yep.
And keeps being revealed, to new people and keeps getting critical acclaim. So
Yep.
I feel pretty fortunate for that because of that.
Yep.
I feel like maybe I've done something along the way.
Yep.
Yep.
Do you have any memories of Day of the Dead?
Day of the Dead was cold. And again, it wasn't that tough on me because I only had 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have to hang in that mine all the time, as most of the other actors did, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get sick. People were getting sick with respiratory problems. Hey, listen, I'm going to be going down here in an elevator. I'm going to try to hold on to you. If I lose you, I'll call you right back.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I'm trying to get outside for a second.
Okay.
I hope you don't mind.
It's all good. Let's give it a whirl.
Yeah, let's give it a whirl. Let's see what happens. We're in the hallway now. That's not too bad.
Yeah, this is my least favorite of the original Dead trilogy, but I love Laurie's performance in it. And yeah, I interviewed her a year ago. She's really awesome. And I think Tom really outdid himself with the makeup in this one because it's a lot less comic booky, a lot more sophisticated, but still has the camp edge of Dawn of the Dead. John? Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
You still there?
Yeah. Still here.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I knew we were going to lose one another in the elevator.
Yeah. Yeah. Ever since George passed away, I get really emotional when I hear the music at the end of Day of the Dead, because not only it's because he's gone, but also I think Day of the Dead was his last great movie, and then I think after that he got kind of demonetized by the studio system.
Well, I don't know what to say about that. That very well may be true. Day of the Dead was what, 83?
85.
85. What did he do that after that? The Dark Half?
He did Monkey Shines. He did The Dark Half. He did Bruiser, and then he did the other Dead trilogy.
Yeah, was when he went to Toronto.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't have anything to do with Monkey Shine, and I had a little bit to do with the dog path in that I was Tim Hutton's double and acting partner because of the role he had to play. He had to play two roles.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was on camera talking to his other half,
Mm-hmm.
he was talking to me. I would feed him dialogue and things like that. I liked him. He was a good guy.
How did you find out about George's death?
I was on vacation in North Carolina. I go down to Cook Island every summer for a couple of weeks, and so that's how I found out. Actually, somebody contacted me on Facebook. I think it was, or maybe they called me. I don't know which, but that's how I found out.
Yeah, I found out and I cried for days because I never got to meet him. I almost did meet him last year, and it was just a devastating blow to me because that guy's legacy is just so profound in the world of horror. There's no other way of explaining it.
Yeah, well, sure.
You know?
Sure.
I mean, what do you...
I love the guy. I mean, he was always kind to me, and we got along. I love working with George. I think for the first time, or second time, we're going to have Christine Forrest out at a convention in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go down to Atlanta in January with David Dead.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God! I mean, you guys every year up in Pittsburgh, you have the Living Dead weekend. I think that's great.
Oh yeah, they do that.
Mm-hmm.
They do that. They really turned it into quite a festival at this point, and they navigated to have the 40th anniversary of Dawn this past summer in June.
Mm-hmm.
That I attended, and they did it at the mall. So it was really pretty cool, and they were able to take locations and go to locations and things like that during the shooting of Dawn. So yeah, Pittsburgh is proud of George. There's no doubt about it. Lori Cardille and I and another fellow, Tom Dubinsky, who was Mike Hornick's assistant, just spoke at, we have the Heinz History Center here, and the Smithsonian was up, and we did a panel on Romero recently. But this past fall, there were lots of Romero gathering and celebration. There was a great pop that was made by Christian Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
That is been placed in the mall in memoriam of George.
Oh, that's great.
So yes, he has a lot of fans. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. When you were teaching, did your students know who you were?
Initially I never said anything about it, but after a while, yeah, they started to know. But then sooner or later, they just knew me as the guy they had to be in front of. I was actually probably better known to them as a teacher and actor and director at that point.
Oh, that's good. At least you didn't have to worry about getting asked for autographs after class and stuff.
No, that was never an issue. That was
That's good. How long have you been doing the convention circuit?
Well, I wasn't originally for it, you know. I didn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe about 10, 12 years. Actually, a fan, Lee Carr, got me to my first convention. I did a horror hound convention that was here in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found out was, lo and behold, the people that come to these conventions loved us, and loved George. And it wasn't strange at all.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that, you know, it's generally kind of a love fest.
Yeah.
And so they come because they appreciate George, and they appreciated all the people that worked with him.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great thing to find out.
No, that's great. Yeah, I've been going to conventions for 2 years now, and I'm just hooked on them. I enjoy going to them, and
Yeah.
I'm always emailing conventions out here in California to book you and all the Living Dead people and stuff. And
Yeah, please.
yeah,
Get out there very often.
yeah,
They don't care about us. They care about California actors.
yeah. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
But I hope they do book you in 2019, though. That would be great.
Well, it's too damn old and fat. I mean, I'm already, I'm 16 years old. I can't do a lot more.
I've seen I've seen people older than 69 signing at conventions. I'll tell you.
Yes, so have I. But yeah, I mean, from 27 to 69, and uh, still have these movies being noticed and paid attention to is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
In my eyes, anyway. So I'm very proud that I've come from where I came from and had the opportunity to work with so many good people and still remain friends with all the people I made during marketing. You know, these people are still around and still making movies, and I'm proud that I can call them friends.
That's so great. Do you have any upcoming conventions or anything you want to plug?
Just the one that I was talking about, Christine Forrest and I are going to go down to Atlanta. I think it's the end of January for a Days of the Dead convention.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm retired and thinking about what my next move is going to be. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'll be able to get it. I've been doing a lot of voiceover workshops, so I'm hopefully headed in that direction.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, well, I do.
Keep making money somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I do know you're going to do some great stuff, John, and
That's time, Dr. Tommy. Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you so much for your time today. This was a real honor, and I hope I hope they book you out here in California next year, because it'd be great to meet you.
Keep talking to them.
I will.
Have them get in touch with my manager, Jim Cirinella.
Joan Cirinella.
Yeah, he's on Facebook, and he's with me. He's my manager, and he takes care of all my books.
Awesome.
So, they're just opening. They're doing there's a Blu-ray in Japan finally being made of Martin for the first time. So Martin has his first Blu-ray
Nice.
Yeah. No, they just have to get me over.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope you get to do some good stuff next year. Seriously.
Wow. It would be great. Anyway, yeah, I've been a lucky guy. I can't complain.
Yes. You're a very lucky guy, John. Well, you have yourself happy holidays and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Tony, and I hope my conversation was somewhat worth it.
It sure was. It sure was. I can't tell you how worth it was.
And you know, to all your listeners and friends, you know, I wish you happy holidays.
Thank you so much, John. You have a great day.
All right, man. Take good care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. John Amplas. Ain't he a cool dude? Thank you so much, John. It was such an honor to talk to you and meet you over the phone. You're a great guy. I hope I get to meet you in person in 2019 out here in California. I will get on their asses to book you. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.